Yes, I know when I leave, I can't take anything, but my love will stay here after I'm gone. Every day that I'm breathing, I'm grateful, I know. Every day that I'm walking, talking, dancing, flying, grateful, I know. Every day that I'm breathing, I'm grateful, I know. Every day that I'm walking, talking, dancing, flying, grateful, I know.
Our guest this morning is a well-known female singer, a TV and a recording artist in blues and soul music. It's with great pleasure I'd like to introduce Andrea Marr in our studios this morning. Good morning and welcome to our program.
Hi, Derek. Thanks for having me on.
Andrea, first of all, I have to congratulate you. Being in the US charts, and it's quite a big achievement for a Sri Lankan living in Australia and be on the US charts. Tell me about it, please.
Yeah, I'm here to share with you the best achievement of my musical career to date, so I'm very excited to be here. I released this new album, Natural, which is this one right here.
Okay.
I released it on the 1st of October this year, and it's independent release, so I paid for it myself, I recorded it myself, and it went straight to #1 on the Australian blues charts in its first month of release. And then straight away in the US, it got played all over the US and the UK, Canada, the whole lot. And in the US, it hit the B.B. King Bluesville charts on XM radio, which has millions of listeners.
Yeah.
And it went straight to, so it's number 14 out of the 25 in the charts.
Yeah.
And yesterday we just got the news saying that it's in the Living Blues chart. So the Living Blues charts is the biggest blues chart in the world, underneath Billboard. So it's the greatest, you know, I've been on that chart once before, but, you know, it's quite a big achievement.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, this particular album is a soul album, and then you've been selected in the blues charts also.
Yeah, it's quite amazing because, you know, I actually did this album because I had so many soul songs, and I as a songwriter, I write blues, I write soul, I write gospel, and I've done, you know, 6 blues albums, and then I did a soul EP, which got really well released, and people loved it in the US and all of that. And half of those songs are on this album. So this is the other half of that album, if you like. And I thought, well, I'll release a soul album, but it has elements of blues in it. And in the US, they really get that soul and blues go together. You know, a lot of the best artists like Etta James and B.B. King and all of those guys, they have elements of what I do in my music. And so they don't differentiate between blues and soul as much as we do over here.
Yeah, that's right.
So it was really well received. It was amazing. So it's gone on the blues charts, which I didn't even think it would do that.
As a singer and a recording artist, you know, it's one of the big achievements, you know, for you to.
Yeah. I think it's more because as a songwriter, it's such a personal thing.
Correct.
And when you write a song, you sort of think, well, I'm writing my life, I'm writing my experiences, I'm writing from my honesty.
Yeah.
But you don't really think anybody's actually going to pay attention or like what you do. You don't know.
Yeah,
it's like giving birth to a baby, and people saying your baby's really ugly, or you know, I love your baby. It's that personal. As a songwriter. And because I pay for everything myself, I write, I produce, I finish the album, everything's me. And you have such ownership on it that if it fails, you really feel like, oh, that really hurts, you know, because you put so much into it. And it wasn't somebody else's idea, it was your picture.
Correct.
You know, so it's it means a lot. It means a lot.
You know, that's great news. Now, Andrea, you started your career in Sri Lanka at the age of 3 or 4. Briefly tell us about how you started and from a musical family.
Yeah, well, my mum and dad both sing, and they've been gone now for a few years. Dad's been gone for 6 years, Mum's been gone for 5 years. So, you know, I really miss them. Mum used to sing in church, Dad used to sing in bands. So my dad was Elmer Mulholland, and my uncle,
a very, very known musician.
And my dad was Errol Mulholland, so really great bass players, jazz singers, like they were great. And so my house was always full of music, right? So I grew up having bands in the house. And I wouldn't go to sleep if there was a band in the house. I would fall asleep listening to the band. So they used to have to carry me off and put me to bed. And at 3.5, what happened was that we had a kindergarten concert, right? This is the story, and I've got photos to prove it. all the other kids forgot the words. And I was going, I know that song, I know that song. So they just put me on and I sang for half an hour. So my two brothers, who are 5 and 7 years older than me, were sitting in the audience. And one turned around to my mother very loudly and said, "Are there no other children in this school? Is she the only child?" So apparently I knew that I was meant to be singing.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Then at the age of 14, you migrated to Australia.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the family, look, I have to give my parents all the credit in the world. It would have been very hard for them to, you know, leave their families and move over here and start a new life, but they just wanted to give us a great opportunity. And honestly, I would not have this great life that I'm having now, and with all these opportunities, and I just love what they did for us to bring us over here to give us this chance.
That's right. Yeah. So when did you start your career here in Australia?
I was very shy when I moved over here. I know it's very hard for you to believe this, right? But I was very shy. And then I met my husband when I was 18, and I sang to him.
That's Lindsay.
That's Lindsay, yeah. He's still around, yeah. That's great. He still speaks to me too, which is great. He heard me sing on our first date, and he said to me, you know, what do you want to do? What's your big dream? Because he's he was an athlete, and he was really into athletics and sport. And he said, "What's your big dream?" And I said, "I'd love to sing, but I'm too shy." He goes, "Oh, sing to me." So I did, and he goes, "You've got a voice in there." And my dad was in a covers band with a New Zealander guy who ran the band. So it wasn't Dad's band; he was playing in the band. Their lead singer was quitting, and my uncle Mark Rosario was the drummer, and my dad was the bass player. Dad said to me, "Don't audition, you're not ready." The drummer, my uncle Mark, said, "You're ready, let's set up an audition," right? So he sets up an audition, and I come into the audition, and Dad pretends he doesn't know me, right? Because he said not to come. So this guy, the guitar player, his name was Jim, and he said, "All right, pick a song from the list and sing something." So I sang, you know, just all the rock and roll covers and all of that, and I loved those songs. I knew them. So I was singing all this jailhouse rock and whatever. He goes, "Yep, next song, next song, next song." 5 songs in, he goes, "Yep, the gig is on Saturday, you're hired." Dad says, "That's my daughter." Then he's willing to acknowledge me.
So is this that band who was performing in Mentor?
Yeah, it grew into that band.
Okay.
So what happened with that, that band, you know, people come and go in bands and things like that. So we were in that band that was called the Golden Notes, that first band. And we sang it at like all these RSL clubs and all kinds of stuff. So I had a great education of learning to sing jazz, country, rock, soul, reggae, you know, you name it. I had to, I was thrown in the deep end, you know, just learn the songs, get on stage and sing, because Dad sang and I sang. So we were the 2 lead singers in the band, and I couldn't have asked for, you know, a better starting position. It was wonderful. And so from the age of 19 onwards, I was singing in bands. And then everything from being in jazz, like Dad and I did other projects with a jazz band, and then, you know, later on it became Dad's band. And yeah, we continued on for many years, actually.
Andrea, we've been talking about your dad's band and your singer with that band. I know I'm going to put into a spot here. We'll be able to sing a few lines to our viewers, because, you know, I myself, as a recording artist, you know, I always book you for any shows I organize. Is there any way you can show our viewers your beautiful voice?
Well, a lot of the stuff that I'll give you a couple of little pieces that Dad and I used to do, right? So he used to, like Summertime was something that he used to love me singing. And he always said I sang it wrong, but, you know, I used to sing it blues because he used to play jazz. Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is a high. Your dad is rich, and your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby, now don't you cry.
There's no better place on earth. Yeah, I dream of you, Sri Lanka.
for you.